tell them niggas check my record if them niggas think I'm lying. I'm eyeing up these Louboutin cause I don't fuck with Louboutin. Or I could go with Gamo just depending on.
I might go. You mind if I call you Ro? I see Ro spit. I know what the spit means.
Yeah, you go,
spit
bro.
on lyrics.
Yeah.
When was Ro spit created?
Roast Spit was created around 2007. I was rapping before that. I went by another name, Octane.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What that mean? I mean, Octane is.
It was like
too much. You
know,
spitting fire and all. You talking some.
It's the same thing. It's like spitting fire. And
Yeah.
well, to go even before that, I started off as a DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started off as a DJ, and my DJ name was Friction. And back then it was like, you had to have names, like, you think like Method Man, you know what I mean? And it was like that, I was like super hip hop. And so Friction, I was DJing for a crew, Subterraneous and Binary Star. And it was like the thing, I was just thinking of like something with your finger is the friction on the record, and that's why I had that. And then when I started rapping, like freestyling and rapping and stuff, it was, I was just thinking like, what's like, fire was, everything was fire, what I'm saying, Hot Boy, stuff like that, everything was fire. So I was like, octane, gas and fire and blowing up and all that.
Yeah.
I was calling myself Octane, and I was just like, after a couple of years, like, I was just like, man, everybody else is just like, it's what they was called growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so my name, but the thing was, my name is Ro.
Ro.
You know what I'm saying?
Laid back.
Yeah, it's like,
laid back.
so I just threw the spit on there because all my friends, because I rap, all my homeboys would call me Spit. You know what I'm saying? So like, even to this day, like my close friends don't even call me Ro, they call me Spit. So I just threw the Ro before the Spit, and that's how the name changed.
Starting off as a DJ, what made you change?
Well, the thing was, I always wanted to be a rapper, an MC.
Okay.
But I had this fear of like standing up in front of people and talking in front of people. And I knew that I was gonna do it one day, and I knew that I had to somehow figure that out. So I just figured like, DJs don't really have to talk. So that was my thing where I still had to stand up in front of people, but I could do my thing without talking. And then through that, getting comfortable up there, eventually I just kind of grabbed the mic and started introducing my crew. And then after that, it was like,
You was ready then,
freestyling.
The fear was gone.
The fear is completely gone.
Was it because of the vibe of the audience and being able to see the rappers that you DJ for being able to feel loose? Because sometimes they have that fear, and once you pass that fear, was that a learning process for you and then know it was time for you to come out?
For sure, but yeah, pretty much. It was between that and the fact that it's like, it's a lot of people's biggest fear is the fear of the unknown. So, you have this thing, it's like, man, I'm scared to get up in front of people, but I've never been in front of people like that. So, once you get up there and you're nervous at first, but when things starts going and you're prepared to do what the people are coming to see you do, you kind of look at it like, it's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, like I did a couple shows. I'm gonna tell you the craziest thing. The first show I ever did in front of people was insane. I was like threw into the wolves. I was DJing for my crew was called Binary Star. It was like, if you think like Wu-Tang, like six to eight, there was like 6 of us. We all were like solo artists that kind of came together and did this project. So the first show we had was at, I forget the name of the club, but it's in Minnesota. And it's the club they shot Purple Rain at.
Oh, yeah.
Fifth Ave, yeah, it's on Fifth Avenue.
Prince, don't do that.
Yeah, right. So it was at that club, and and I'm the DJ, so I had to go out first.
Oh, yeah.
And I was literally shaking like this, like shaking, and it was so bad that I dropped the needle and had to like, kind of move it with my, like thumping it to the place where it was supposed to be. I was that nervous, and then when they said, introducing Subterraneous, I dropped it, and I haven't been nervous since.
I know that was a great experience.
Yeah, it was crazy, and it was like, this is Prince and it's Purple Rain. That's one of my favorite movies. You know what I'm saying?
We all know.
I'm like, man, how am I about to do this? But I literally, once I let the record go, I was cool as a fan, and everything went perfect.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So after that point, I was like, that's when I kind of started saying like, you know, it's all mental. It's all in your brain. Like it's not, you know, if you just act like ain't nobody there.
Yeah, that was my method. You know, just act like nobody there and just be you. You know.
8 million rappers spitting out here on the grind. It's a shame most of y'all ain't gonna get signed. Me, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, bro, I'm getting mine. I be in the studio, but only on my spare time.
When did you record your first record? You know, nobody recorded right. You know, your first record was never recorded right.
Right.
So
right.
when was that first never recorded right record?
First never recorded right record. I had a record that, because I go back, I tell you, I was a DJ, so I was kind of like secretly recording. You know, like the producer, my man J.Cole, had just got some studio equipment, like recording equipment at his house. He had like pre-production stuff and then beats. So he was like trying to learn that, and then I was trying to like get familiar in the studio. So I was like, yo, you got beats, I got rhymes, let's get in there and just kind of see, you know, just kind of make it happen. And I did this song called I Am the One. I think I called it like Neo or something like that, like Neo from the Matrix, because like Neo was the one, you know. It was kind of corny, but and it was like he had a sample like I am the one, you know, and then I just kind of went in on it. And those I did like probably at his crib I did like probably 8 to 10 records in like a couple weeks. And my crew which is all MCs and I'm supposed to be the DJ, was like, I started letting them hear stuff. And they were like, first of all, I didn't even know you rap. Second of all, how are you a DJ but you have more songs than us? You know, like individually.
Yeah.
And it started kind of getting them on their grind and on their hustle. You know what I mean? So, and that was kind of like the birth of it. Ever since then, I was like, I don't even want to DJ no more. Like, I'm an MC. And that's always like what I always wanted to do.
So when you decided to go in the studio, was it a real studio? Was it a basement record? You know, Detroit comes from a basement record before you graduated.
I was in a basement studio.
Your first record? That was your
first record recorded. I was in a basement studio, and it was like, he's like one of those, you know, bodybuilding, like, you know, so it's like weights over here, and like studio equipment right here, and then like his
mic out of nowhere.
It's like it's like there, and then his father had like, you know, just old stuff. You know what I'm saying? And then it was like he had these egg cartons on the wall to, you know, kind of
that fake.
The sound, the fake,
sound,
But it was like real egg cartons.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
New shit.
So
and
that was it. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, I can't even remember. It wasn't like Pro Tools or nothing. It was like a Tascam something. And but it, you know, it got the job done for what we were trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if I ever even released those songs.
Was that releasable, or was that this practice get it there?
You know what? I did release those songs. I did. I had them for years, and then one day I was like just sitting around, kind of just like thinking, and I was just frustrated at home, and I was like, I'm about to just put out everything I've ever done, like no matter if it's mixed,
if it's
unmixed.
Gutter.
It was like, you know, verses, like, you know, it'd be a verse, because like I was supposed to have a feature in the middle, and then so it'd be like a verse, hook, open space, hook, my verse, and I just put it out. And I did that I actually was on MichiganHipHop.com, which I don't even know if it's still in existence. But it was probably like, probably like three to 4 gigs of music, I think. Yeah, so it was a lot of music, you know, and it was just stuff
put it out. What you named it? That was your first mixtape?
What's it called?
That was your first mixtape?
Well, no, the first mixtape. The first solo mixtape I did was called the Oh Shit Project.
Oh.
And then before that, I did the Octane and the Lead. That's what I had.
That's that unraw, that unmixed.
No, that was just called like witness the growth, or witness something. I don't know. I don't even know if it really had a name, because I just put it up and he just, you know. But I had like an album that I was gonna put out called The Closest Thing to Him.
Oh, sweet.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, I had a couple ideas, like it was called The Closest Thing to Him, but him represented like, you know, a couple different things. Like it was like the closest thing to, and then him was capital H-I-M, and it was like the closest thing to him meaning me. You know, like this is the closest thing to me. And then it was like the closest thing to him and God. And like him had a couple different meanings, you know what I'm saying? And that was kind of like the thing behind it, you know what I mean? And but it's out there somewhere online.
Yeah, look, it's out there. You put it out.
It's out there.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, coming out with that, when you saw your fan base start to generate, that's when you saw your fan base start to generate, people starting to get to know you as an artist?
Yeah, really, I think it was the Octane and Elite days. And it was just like, you know, you just kind of start seeing, we were doing shows around the city, and it was like you start seeing people there for you, you know, and that was a great feeling, you know what I mean? So it was just like, you know, people we be on a show with.
You're doing something right, huh? Yeah.
Right, with like 5 different people, and then you start seeing like, you know, this person to go up, this person to go up, and then there'll be a couple people there, and then, you know, somebody else will come up, and then, you know, big people kind of go away, and then when we go on, it's like a pack. You know what I mean? So that's when I first started seeing the little hood thing, or you know.
You sure said you was doing something right.
Yeah, yeah.
In this entertainment business, you know.
Right.
It was for you then.
For sure.
That gives you, you know, hey, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
Because you put your work in and you brought it there.
Yeah, and it's like when you see that it's not somebody you know. You know, because of course you know your family, your homeboys, their cousins and all that stuff. Of course they're gonna like say they like your music, but when you see like it's a person that you've never seen before, and you know you didn't talk to them and give them a flyer and say come here, they came, they heard about it, heard about you, enjoy what you do, and then paying attention to what you're doing, and then they show up to where you're at, and that's a feeling that you know you can't pay for that.
Always, Yahweh, I'm God in the present. The king that shows the way. I look at y'all as the peasants. With all this progression and all these possessions, just take a step back and be in awe in my presence.
What was the songs that stood out the most?
Back
That
then,
drawed your fan base? You know what? When you got out in that stage and you out that crowd, what song they were singing to?
I had a solo record called Leave Me Alone. Haters get your paper and leave me alone. It's crazy that I still perform that to this day.
Yeah, you got to. You bring the classic out. You got out that major.
Yeah, and then we had a record called Nick Speed produced it. What was the name of that record? I can't even think of the name of it. I haven't performed it in so long, but it was an Octane and Elite record. And at the end of it, we went back and forth, like 4 bars, you know, like without, you know, 4 bars, 4 bars, 4 bars, 4 bars. And we used to do it at the shows, and we would do it like cut the beat, do acapella, and we go super fast. Like we would start off slow, and then go super fast, and then I was doing his ad libs, he was doing my ad libs. It was crazy, and that was one of the records that you know, people just like they just went crazy. You know?
Who taught you how to the difference with the bars? It's the question like they got the 4 bars, the 8 bars, 16 now, it's down to 4 to 12 and everything.
Right.
So who taught you how to record?
My 2, well, one of my cousins, one below, and then the producer that was there at the time, Decompose.
Okay.
And
I like that name.
Decompose.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Deep.
And so they were like, you know, they were my older cousins. So I always looked like, and to this day, I say One Below was like one of probably the most slept on MC from Michigan. Like, dude is a genius. And I always looked up to him. Like, even to this day, I look up to him. I was sitting with him the other day just in awe of some of the things he said, like, you know, some of the ideas he had for his next couple projects. And then my man Decompose, it was the same thing. Like, he was my older cousin, like one of his best friends. And then he was like, at the time, like one of the craziest producers. And he was like, yo, I'll work with you. So
it's sweet to have somebody work with your hands on it.
Yeah.
That's the best creativity ever.
Yeah.
When you have your one producer, you get in there and y'all grind it out and come out with a hit.
Yeah. And it was them 2 people that he would tell me, like, because I was just writing. We used to write pages.
Yeah.
Right. So it was like, it could be 23 bars, it could be 27, it could be 36. Yeah. Like, we didn't know, you know what I mean? We were just writing until the end of the page.
Learn into what it is.
Yeah, so he was like, nah, man, it's like, it's forms, like, you know, it's a formula that it's like, 16 bars, and then if you cutting that short, 12 and then 8, and if you get super into it, well, you kind of form it around how the beat is, because the beat might be, 10, set for 10 bars. You just gotta, kind of make it work, but it goes 4, 8, 12, 16.
What artists of music you looked up to when you decided to come in this hip hop nation?
I was heavy East Coast, like heavy East Coast. When I started really paying attention to it, like I've always loved. It was East Coast and like down south, like the Scarface down south,
Legends,
Outkast, Ghetto Boys, like all that. And then when I really started paying attention and kind of seeing like this is what I want to do, it was Nas and like Jay-Z,
classic, I salute
yeah, the whole East Coast wave like changed my life. Like everything. I'm talking about like Ali Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Like A+. It's like
you going deep,
people that you probably a lot of people might not even know.
That's that true hip hop. See,
yeah,
it's they just know it's a whole different world outside of TV that people go see, listen to, because their fan base is underground. They got a lot of them.
Right.
So you with that true hip hop. What do you think about the hip hop industry today? To me, it's dumbing down era.
For sure.
Or who you think today, in your eyes, in your opinion, who you think rolling today? In your eyes, that's hot today.
To be completely honest, I don't pay attention to a lot of people. Mm-hmm. What I do is I
learn from the legends. You named the best.
Right.
I love it.
So I hear about people and I check them out. Mm-hmm. Like I listen, and then and one of the reasons for that is because I'm working on my own music and I don't want to get like distracted. Mm-hmm. But and like the only people that I listen to, like seek out to listen to, is Michigan artists, like Detroit, really Michigan, like that's it.
That's sweet.
You know what I'm saying? And then of course like if Nas drops something, if Jay-Z drops something, you know what I'm saying? Of course that, but like these.
So you still with them to this day?
For sure. We got Drake. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, I like somebody will have to say like, yo, you heard that new Drake album? And then I'll be like, oh yeah, dang, it came out. Let me go check it out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but like the one thing that I do respect about these new the new wave is the independence of them.
Yes.
It's like
there's more money that way. Yeah.
Right. You look at Mac Miller. This
I know
guys
him.
like
I
that.
love him. Yeah.
You look at even like Black Milk and a lot of these guys
I like Milk
that are hitting.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you see these guys and how they move and how they're building these organic fan bases who are gonna be with them forever. And it's like, you gotta set your own goals. So it's like, if you look at somebody that's a underground, or I ain't saying underground, an independent artist, right? And you look at that person and say like, he's an underachiever, or he hasn't reached his full potential. It's like you have to understand what his goal is. His goal might not be to be on the radio all day.
He just want to be heard.
He might not be wanting to be on TV or BET or whatever. He might just want to own everything that he's done and tour and make money off of merchandise and things like that. And people make millions off of that.
They do. That's what it's here for. That's good. We're going to get farther into that too, because you expanded your horizons and his entertainment side definitely. And that's good that artists not just don't stay in one thing, just try to prosper and make money in every part.
Right, for sure, yeah.
However you do it.
Multiple hustles. My mom told me multiple checks. That's what life is about.
Of course.
Multiple checks.
I don't want to hit it with one check. That's about 10 different checks.
All right, yeah.
If it's from 10 different people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I wrote this high in the air on the plane, no paper, made myself unattainable. Beat, we so major, nothing on my left or right. I got no neighbors, bitch straight, my name on the marquee. They caught the vapors.
What was your first initial, your mixtape that was complete that you put out outside? We gonna reach up to today. The first one that was justified. You ready? It's me. To press it up, give it to my fans.
That project for me was the whole shit project, and it was 100% my thoughts, my ideas that came to fruition exactly how I.
That was after the one you just threw together. I'm talking
Yeah.
this the one that's
Well, actually,
here.
to be
This is the
completely
one.
honest-
It's the professional one. This is the one. This is true work of art.
Yeah, I don't know. That might have came. The other thing that I put out might have came after that project.
Yeah, you just waited and just said, no, what? Let me give him my pass.
Yeah, I think
Just to
that's
get
how
it
it
out.
was.
You want to release it out, give it to your
Just
fans.
give it,
This
yeah.
me, I'm raw and uncut.
The thing that like I look up to my cousin One Below a lot, and I learned like even though he's like he's super underground and like he doesn't even care about mainstream being on the radio or anything.
So like Schoolboy Q. I like that.
Nah, it's even deeper than that. Like,
Yeah?
yeah, even deeper than that. But one thing, like the things that he taught me, and I really remember is that like he would always say, like you gotta, Jay-Z has a multi-million-dollar budget, and we don't have anything.
Yeah.
But somehow you gotta be able to make what you have able to be put right next to that, and people not really be able to tell the difference. You know what I mean? So it's like, regardless of how you got to do it, your graphic designers, the people that's printing this stuff up, the people that's doing all this stuff, have to make that look as good as whoever's the top dog right now.
Now we're on the same page.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how I do everything. So at that, when I was doing that project, I was just looking, I'm looking at features, I'm looking at, other people's projects and like just design of it and all that stuff. So it's crazy. I didn't have like any money or any budget at the time. And so you got to be creative, you got to think about things. So what I did with that project, I held a contest to design the artwork for the project. Right? So I took pictures, I did a photo shoot, and I sent like 4 pictures. Like put it up so as a graphic designer you could download it, and then I told you what my idea was. It's the project. It's what it's called, and then you have this. You got to do something and submit like 3 different things, like album covers, and then you gonna have people decide.
That was sweet.
And then it came out like it was so much like that's a way to do it where you say somebody's gonna see this that I probably can't afford, and get into it, and they showed improvement. And of course it was some garbage in there.
You're gonna get the beginners. We went through that beginning road.
You know what I mean? And but it was some amazing stuff, and it was tough to pick it. You know what I'm saying? It was tough to pick it, but just stuff like that. You have to like when you don't have the money, you got to be creative.
How do you, when you sit down and write, what's your zone? You put yourself in the zone when you write, or you?
It's funny because I got kids. I got 2 young girls, 7 and 3, and so they're very demanding. Like getting my attention. Right. So a lot of the times I write in the car. I'm driving, so I play the instrumental, and I have to memorize what I'm kind of going over until I get like to a stoplight, or I get to a park, and then I'll type it in my phone, and then if I got, depending on how much time I got in the studio, I'll write at the studio, and or at like when I put my kids to bed and everything, and I'm up 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, I just write at that time.
Just go off your vibe and how you feel.
Yeah, usually I'll write to no beat. I just write, kind of like writing, or I have heard the beat earlier and kind of remember how it sounded.
That's how you come up with your titles and your vibe. You got vibe with the track, right?
Yeah, well, not really. I mean, sometimes I hear it, but I don't. Some people have to play it over and over and over and over, and I really don't have to do that. Once I hear it once or twice, I already know. I already know the flow I'm kind of on, and I just, I don't need the beat until I'm recording it. But I like where I come from. The era I come from is that like my studio time was, $50, $60 an hour. You know what I'm saying? So, my cousin is, I'll bring him on every interview. My cousin, he would say, like come to the studio prepared. Like we don't have time and money for you to be sitting in here lollygagging and writing and stuff. So like when I go to the studio, I'm like, yo, load this up. I'm ready to record. you know, and I knock it out, and I only need like an hour, you know, 2 hours, depending on what I'm doing.
Yeah, but we quick now, you know, we all with this music industry being so independent. Now look, I'm coming to record what I gotta record, you know.
Yeah.
They had big brothers where you be in the studio, laid back, you going and make a line and lay down because the money was available. Now you gotta go lay your shit and exit.
I get a budget, that's not going to the studio, I promise you that.
Cause you quick, that's gonna be the less budget now. You can get in and get out.
Sometimes